Good morning, everybody. It is Yom Kippur 2021, September 17th. And we are sitting here in our living room with Mr. Avi Goren, a friend, a colleague, a tour guide, the father of TourMeApp's photographer, Udi, and a war hero from Yom Kippur War. And we want to ask him, in his words, to tell us a little bit about what had happened, what were the circumstances, and how did it go. So good morning, Avi. How are you feeling today?
Oh, it's a hard day, as every Yom Kippur. It's a day that we remember this day. When it happened, 73, I was 19 years old. Quite a young fellow, quite a young soldier. Not too much experience in the army. Just before going for different courses in the army. And then the war happened.
I actually understand that you consider this to be your second birthday.
I consider this day as my second birthday, that I was almost killed about every 5 minutes by every opportunity. I mean, missile guns, machine guns, soldiers, mines, everything tried to kill me, and luckily they didn't succeed.
Yes. All right, so tell us a little bit about the background. What started?
Well, I joined the army November 72. I just ended up the high school, and then I went to the army. I was drafted to the Armed Corps, and I did the base courses, training, and we turned to be a team, and we were sent to the Suez Canal to guard the borders for 3 months. These 3 months were about to end in Yom Kippur, but something happened. We saw and we noticed a lot of movement in the Egyptian side. I mean, too many vehicles, too many soldiers, too many tanks. And we asked and we reported what's going on. And we were told they are doing exercise, don't worry. 3 days before the war, Wednesday, late afternoon, the chief of the area, the general that was in charge, he came to visit us. And we asked him, what's going on? I mean, up to 3-4 weeks ago, we were 12 tanks, and opposite to us were 20 tanks. And now there are more than 200. Cannons and all this stuff. And he asked, what's going on? Don't worry. I think the ceasefire is going to break. It might be a war, but don't worry. You are not going to be alone. And the point is, it didn't happen like that. With all the government, the information, Moshe Dayan, that he was sure the Egyptians are not going to start the war. And they had a lot of information. The telling what's going on. By the end, when the war started, we were alone. And I'm talking about 73. We were almost, I would say, ready. The teams were all there. Those who were on vacation came back. The tanks were in optimal position and equipped. We had a bad feeling, so we added up ammunition every place in the tank that we can do. We joined the chain of bullets for a few 200, a few thousands in a row, instead of 230 in one chain. And in the morning we were told it's going to be the end of the ceasefire or maybe a war. For the last week we were in alert, very highly alert. I mean, we couldn't leave the base, we couldn't do anything alone. We should sleep with the clothes on, shoes on, in the bunkers in Sinai, which were very hot, no air condition. And Shabbat in the morning, Saturday, we were all fasting. Why? We had 3 guys that were religious, and we had a bad feeling, and they asked, let's do it. Okay, so we were fasting. And 1:30, we were called to go to the tanks, the team, and the sergeants went to get the last orders. We were sitting in the tanks, checking everything to move to our bases or our front position, that we knew about it, everything. And while we are waiting to the sergeants and the officers to come, the alarm started to call. It means it's emergency. Probably airplanes attacked. It's the first time in my life that I hear it on real. And while the sergeants were running to the tanks, we saw the first Egyptian airplanes started to attacking us, throwing missiles and bombs over us. So the sergeants or the officers were running on top of the tank. They even didn't go in. We started to move out to the open field, not to be in one row and to be destroyed by the Egyptian. And actually, in this moment, we started the war. I mean, we were in the open field shooting against the Egyptian airplanes. Luckily, almost nobody hurt. I mean, something serious. Some antennas were cut, but nothing happened, and I was very happy. It's very nice, it's very noisy, a lot of color. I said, nothing happened, so tomorrow we will be glad. It will be written that we were attacked, and it will be written in the newspaper, and I will be able to say, I was there. The only thing I didn't know what's going on and what are the future. What is the future from now on? And actually, the war started. It took us a few minutes to understand. It started, and we started as a battalion to go towards the Suez Canal, our front position, but very quickly. Very, very quickly. Each one of us was attacked by soldiers, Egyptian soldiers that were already in the Israeli territory, and they started to attack us with shoulder missiles, which was a very big surprise for us. We knew the existence of that, but we didn't know how many. We thought in any troop there is 2, 3, 4 people, but actually everyone had some shoulder missile on his back, and to be a good soldier he had to do to destroy one Israeli tank. And this what happened actually. So we started and we got into an ambush, a very yellow dune hill suddenly turned to be black, and the tank that was ahead of us was hit, stopped, burned, and I understood there is no way to stay here. I didn't make a U-turn, I just was driving backwards, running away from the missiles. I was hit, but nothing happened. I was hit in the back, but nothing actually happened. I kept on driving, and we actually left the area, running away, leaving the tank burning, and the team, I don't know what even happened with them. I mean, today I know they're all dead, but I was running away. This is the very beginning. In this moment, I understood what's going on. I mean, a war, it's not a joke. When I was trained, we were shooting on all tanks or barriers or whatever. But this is the first time that the old tanks fired back and we were hit. Anyway, we were running towards the Suez Canal to our original position. We were attacking Egyptian commando that attacking us with missiles. We heard the news around from our friends. We saw the Israeli airplanes attacking the Egyptian. Is it gonna fall? It's not gonna fall. It's gonna fall. It's falling down. Once we saw a parachute pilot fell down in between the Israeli forces and the Egyptian. So we were driving quickly, shooting like hell to stop the Egyptian, to catch him. We got him. We took him back 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers away, keep on walking this direction to the Israeli forces. We are busy. Anyway, by the end of the day, after a lot of attacks and destroying a lot of Egyptian soldiers, missiles, catchers, hunters, we got to the Suez Canal, to the place we were supposed to be as a start with. And the fact was, we saw the Egyptian soldiers, a bridge. They are crossing the canal in this point. Not on a bridge, with boats, and hundreds of soldiers crossing the canal, climbing on the Israeli side, which was high, and we started to shoot. And we were shooting for about half an hour, stopping the crossing, destroying the boats, killing hundreds of people. Because if you shoot at the people in the middle of the canal, with all the heavy stuff they got, they are sinking. And you shoot at the rubber boats, the air is going out and they are sinking. Anyway, it took about half an hour. We were shooting thousands of bullets with all the extra that we had before. And then we had a message. Tank number 2, you are surrounded. You disturb the Egyptian to cross the canal. And we looked around and we saw we are surrounded. Somebody saw us from a long distance and he sent us the information. And we said, what are we going to do? I mean, we can't go forward because the canal, we can't run right, left, it's high, and we have to cross. So I made a U-turn. I told the team, please, hold yourself, we are about to fly. I'm going now to cross the Egyptian forces. And I did. Full speed, 60 tons running in the desert. I was a crazy driver. I was known as a crazy driver, jumping up the hills with no slowing the drive, part of the way on the air, falling down, hitting the team, I didn't care less, hitting the Egyptian, hitting whatever was down around us, and we crossed them and running away. Stop. We took all the wires of the missiles out of the antennas because I was driving right, left, right, up and down without no motives. But we were running away and we were not hit. And this was the main thing. Now we are out of the canal. We relax a little bit. What are we going to do now? Let's see if we can go back to see what happened to the tank that was hit about 2 hours ago. And we came there, it was empty. We were happy, and then it turned to be black again. They expected us to come back, and they were doing an ambush, and we got in. And then we were starting to shoot at the Egyptian, the cannon, the machine guns, and I was a driver. I can't shoot, but I was following them, going over them, killing them with the tank. By the end, I was chasing after 4 people, and then I saw a soldier, Egyptian soldier, going on my left side with a shoulder missile, trying to aim it against me. I was stupid or not, I don't know. I put the chain over him, so he didn't shoot, but the tank stopped the running, and then we were hit by shoulder missiles. Unfortunately, if he was shooting us, this soldier, he couldn't do anything, any harm to the tank. It was too close. But anyway, I killed him, and the tank stopped, and we were hit. When you are hit, you're quite losing your conscious of the bomb and the noise. Everything stopped. It's quiet, and I would say I was fainted. I lost my conscious for a few seconds. And then I heard somebody is yelling in the tank. I walked up. I checked myself with my hands. You don't feel anything. The adrenaline is working. You don't feel anything, any pain. I checked myself. I said, oh, nothing happened to me. And then I heard my friend in the tank. I saw he was badly injured. I called the people who is still alive, who is here, who is there. The officer said he is okay, and I saw one man is missing. I was watching outside, was looking outside, and I saw him about 80 or 100 meters away from the tank. How he got there, I haven't got a clue. But anyway, I called the officer. I said, let's go down, we will pick him up. We were stopping behind the tank. I gave him my machine gun, my bullets, and I was running in the open field, flat, no protection. I knew the Egyptians are around, and I was praying all the way. Just when I will be hit, that I had the courage and the force to go back to the tank. And I started to run towards my friend, and I was shot by 8 people 15 meters away from me. Another team 50 meters on the other side, and another team 100 meters away. I'm running in the middle, and everybody is running or shooting at me, and in between the bullets, I'm running. I don't know how I wasn't hit. If you think about it, if I'll win a week after a week in the lottery, I will believe you much more. But I wasn't hit. I got to my friend. He was still alive. I was talking with him, and he said, "Leave me alone, I'm badly injured." I said, "Shut up, it's Avi, I'm gonna save you." And I took him over my shoulder, over my chest, and I was running back. On the way back towards the tank, he was hit by bullets. I don't know how it wasn't hit my fingers that I was holding him like that. I got to the tank, he was already dead. Actually, he stopped the bullets or saved my life somehow. Anyway, I got to the tank. We couldn't put him on top because everybody was shooting at us. It was heavy fire. By the end, we'll put him on the side of the tank, on top, but not inside. But we said, okay, we will drive a little bit out and we will take care of him because it was really very heavy gunfire. So the officer went to the to the tank. I was getting in. We had a bomb of artillery next to the tank. Nothing happened to us, but my friend that I just brought him back, he got up from the tank, he went down, he walked a few meters and fell down. I don't know what happened, so I said to the officer, "I'm going out to bring him over." He said, "Avi, you don't go because you're the only one that still acting and moving, because we are all hit. I have a bullets and I can't function, I can't do anything. So it's your job." So I didn't go out, I didn't take him. I started to call my friends to say, "We were hit, we are injured, we need help, we need support." I had the Israeli tanks around. I was talking with some people. "Yes, we will come, we will come." Wait. Meanwhile, the Egyptians tried to get into the tank, to send grenade, to shoot it. By the end, I said to the one that was in charge, the officer that was in charge, "I have to run away, I can't stay here anymore." He said, "Avi, are you sure you know the way, everything?" I said, "Of course I know." I gave him the direction, and then I was driving away from there towards our base, which was about 5-6 kilometers away. But while I was driving along the road, I noticed that the bombs are chasing me. Artillery bombs are chasing me, one to the right, one to the left, too close to be by chance. And then I understood that when I gave instruction, they knew exactly where I am and they followed the tank. So I didn't give any explanation. I left the road and was driving about 50 meters away from the tank, from the road. And I was driving here and the bombs are here. By the end, I sent them a message. I told them that I'm on my way. I got there with 2 injured people. One of them, I left, of the teammate, I left in the open field. And I was driving. I got there. The doctor was there. They gave him first aid. They saved the officer alive. He got a bullet in his lungs, so he couldn't breathe. So in the last minute, he was saved. And my friend, that was a friend of mine from the high school, and then in the army, I was talking with him, said, "Don't say to my mom anything. Don't tell her even that I was injured." He said, "Don't worry, it will be okay." And I was sure that I saved his life because he is now in the hand of the doctors. But 3 days later, I heard he didn't get to the hospital alive. He lost too much blood. So actually, I saved one officer life and two teammates. And then I was staying in our bunker, and I'm talking about 5 o'clock. The whole story, long story, in a very short version, is 3 hours. And then we took care of all the injured people that came, and I got the list of the people. We went to the battle, 10 tanks, it means 40 people. 11 of them didn't come back. I'm not talking about injured, or no, we didn't have any prisoners, but I'm not talking about injured people or people that stuck on the way.
So basically we have covered up till now the first 3 hours of the war, right?
Yep.
And then what? Because the war
And then,
lasted a little bit more than 3 hours, unfortunately.
yeah, we were there, and only from the 10 tanks that started the war, 7 of them stuck along the way on the battlefield. 3 of them were with us. My tank with holes, right, left, but functioning, no team. Other tank with a team, no cannon. It was cut by a missile. And another tank not hit. These were the only 3 tanks left. The rest were stuck on the way. So we stayed in the bunker, and about 6 o'clock, I was told, 6:30, I was told, Avi, go on top of the bunker to see or to hear if we are not attacked by Egyptian tanks. Okay, so I went on top. If you forget about it is a war, it was an amazing carnival. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Lights, noise, smoke, flashlight. The refinery in the other side, the Egyptian side, is on fire. Airplanes, beautiful. Like the independence ceremony. But few minutes later, I saw somebody's moving towards me. And I was quite a stupid soldier. I mean, I didn't understand really what is the meaning of a war. And I told him to stop, give me the keyword, if not a password, otherwise I'm gonna shoot at you. He didn't answer. So I got no answer. And I started to shoot. And I was aiming to the center of his body, shooting at it, and I saw the bullets going inside, but this soldier kept on running. And I started to be afraid. He came closer and closer and closer, and I'm shooting and shooting and shooting, killing, killing, killing. By the end, I noticed it was a rolling bush in the desert that were rolling with the wind. And I killed him to death, but nothing happened. And then I started to think, how I'm going to explain that I was shooting at the bush with no motives. I mean, why? And where I'm going to get the bullets, where I was hiding bullets in the bunker, that I can put it back, maybe nobody will hear, nobody will listen. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, my heart was down below. Anyway, I was staying there, and artillery bomb started. So it was a bomb 100 meters away. No, I'm not gonna leave the position. 50 meters away, no. 20 meters away, I said, the pieces of metal under my legs, and I said, I'm not gonna stay here anymore. I was running down to the bunker, knocking the door, nobody opens it. Who is it? Why? They blocked the door. I said, why? It's me, open up. They let me in. The bomb was exactly on the center of the bunker. Nothing happened, but the place I was standing before, and I said, "Why did you block the door?" They said, "Well, you were shooting." I said, "Okay, so we were afraid you are attacked." I said, "Why you didn't come to help me if I was attacked?" "We were afraid." And they left me there over there. So I don't know if I was laughing, yes or no, but anyway, I stayed there to rest. Of course, I couldn't. I heard the news. I thought all the trouble is in our area. And I was waiting to the morning to be saved by the whole army. Few hours later, I was called to save one of the tanks from the battle. It was the Magad.
Battalion commander.
Battalion commander was stuck there, and I was sent, I don't know even with whom, to save him. And we were attacked on the way by napalm bombs, RPG bombs, anyway, but we took him out. This was the end of the first day, the first night. I was in the bunker. I was supposed to sleep, to eat. I didn't do either or. But anyway, the very next day, the battalion commander came to our bunker. He said, "Avi, let's go to your tank. You will be the driver." He brought a new team, and we started the war with him. So it was very interesting. And actually, what we did the whole day, trying to stop the Egyptian from crossing the not crossing the canal, going inside, by doing a wall, going back a little bit, forward, back a little bit, forward, and so on. So we were attacking the Egyptians. So what he did, Avi, go ahead. We went to the open field. The Egyptian soldiers saw our tank. They're coming on top to hit us. And then the two tanks, or some tanks we had behind, were hitting the Egyptian. So actually, I was the duck for 2 days.
Sitting duck.
It wasn't a big pleasure. I said I was very much afraid, but I couldn't say a word to the commander. I didn't say a word. Anyway, sunset, Avi, let's go to see the whole battalion, the parking area, the night area. We came there. I said, well, very nice. We see all the friends. We came over, and I said, "You say the whole battalion is here?" He said, "Yes, this is Battalion 1. This is C, and we are in the middle. This is what was left. The only 3 tanks left out of 30-something that participated in the war. Anyway, during the night, every tank around, where are you going, who you belong to, join us. And the third day, we started the war, a very, very strong force, 7 tanks functioning. We did the same war as we did the day before, shooting, killing, going back, going forth. In the late afternoon, we heard about a group of tanks, Egyptian tanks, that went into Israel and crossing inside, or driving inside from a kind of wadi. So we were doing an ambush. We were shooting at 40 tanks. We destroyed the whole lot, 15, 20 minutes. When the war ended, the whole tanks went down, and we went up to see what happened. And then I was hit by a tank missile, about 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter out of my face outside. So it blew up the periscope, the point of view, blew it up on my face. And as a tank driver, I knew if you are hit once, it's gonna take 5 to 8 seconds to get the second missile. So I didn't stop for asking questions or orders. I was running away, going down from the high position. And the moment I left the first position, we were hit by the second missile. Nothing happened, but I still got the picture in my mind how it was blowing up in the ground where the tank was standing. Actually, I saved the whole team life. Of course, the commander changed the tank, and we stayed there to replace the chain that was cut. And of course, I was going every night to repair the tank. And I gave them the order, fix up this one, this part, that part, and so on. And please wash the tank. Well, Avi, what do you think you are? Are you in the position of Independence Parade? I said, listen, you wash the tank, otherwise I'll shoot at you. They were laughing. So the commander of the mechanic place, the repairs, he said, don't mug around with him. If he said he will shoot, he will shoot. He already did it sometimes, so when they cleaned the tank, they understood what was going on. It was filthy, full of parts, body parts, either Israelis, either Egyptians, and it smelled in the desert. So I couldn't go on. Anyway, I repaired the tank. I kept on fighting. The 5th day at night, as usual, I was dropping in the hospital some injured people, going to the mechanic to repair the tank that was hit during the day. And they replaced the motor, refill everything, and very early, about 5 o'clock, we got back to our troop, and we were chosen. Anyway, you're not sleeping, so you can do the guarding. Last hour, which is the worst hour, and I was guarding on the machine gun, falling asleep, hitting my head in the machine gun, boom, 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 and we got an order. There is a team of shoulder missiles. They are trying to get to the parking area, so who is ready? Go. And we didn't sleep the whole night. We were the first one to be ready, and we started to move. We saw this Egyptian team. We were shooting at them, and we were just about to go over them, about 6-8 meters away from them. We went over a mine. I didn't know it's a mine, and we were hit. The tank stopped. And when it was hit, I lost my conscious. I didn't know what's going on. And then I heard a strange noise that I'm dead. And then I noticed, if I can hear that I'm dead, somebody was saying I'm dead. I noticed that I'm the one that's yelling. And if I can hear, it means I'm still alive. If I'm still alive, where I am. Because before, I saw the tank from the top. My spirit was somewhere outside of the tank. Anyway, I walked up. I didn't know where I am, what happened. I checked my legs, my feet, everything is okay. And I said, everything was on fire around me. And the ammunition started to blow up, gasoline, everything. I couldn't move the tank. Nobody answered, not in the radio, not calling. So I said, well, instead of turning to be a fried chicken, I might as well run away. I opened my cover of the tank place, of the driver place, took my head off. I had a bullet, boom, flying over my ears. I dropped down and I saw the Egyptian commando sitting ahead of me. And I said, okay, and they were shooting. And then I remembered what happened. I didn't know what was going on, where I am. And then I said, okay, I can't go from the top because they will kill me. I have another emergency door down. I said, okay, if I'll drop it, I will go down from under the tank, but this is in between the two chains of the tank. But they are sitting in the front of it. It means they will kill me on the spot. So my only chance was how I'm gonna go. I mean, my question was how I'm gonna go out without being killed. And then I said, anyway, I'm dead. Because the fire is around, I'm dead anyway. I was sitting down, took my hands out of the tank and shooting like that, watching what's going on. It's very hard to aim like that. So out of 5, 4 cartridges were sent away. Nothing happened. And then I say to myself, Avi Goren, Mr. Goren, quiet, easy, otherwise you are dead. You will burn alive. And then really I was shooting, aiming properly, short. I was hitting 6 people. I saw they are hitting. I saw them, they're falling down the hill. And the other 2 taking cover, hiding somewhere. And I said, this is my chance to go out. I was jumping out of the tank, going around to see if some injured or dead people of our team. I didn't see anything. And I started to run, leaving 3 bullets in the gun. I'm not going to be a prisoner. If I will kill myself. Anyway, I started to run towards the Israeli forces. And then they were shooting at me on one side, and then the Egyptian from the other side, and I'm running in between. I mean, I was running as quick as I can. I said, I'm not gonna go zigzag. I'm going straight, shortest. But it didn't work. I was shot by both sides. So I was going a little bit further out of the Israeli forces. I came to the back of the Israeli forces. And the officer that was in charge over there, he almost shot at me with his machine gun. And he said, I said, don't shoot. I'm an Israeli. I said, what are you doing here? In the end of the war, I understood what happened. They came to the tank. They asked the one man that was saved, is somebody is alive? And he said, no way, because I didn't hear anything. And probably I was stuck there about 25, 30 minutes. So for the Israeli forces, they understood they are all dead. One we saved, it's okay, the rest are dead. And this was the point. Anyway, I was evacuated to the crossway, to the back. A doctor came. The injured started to be, they were taken care by the doctor. And then the doctor said, okay, we are done. We will go back. And I said, you're not done. I'm injured. He said, I can't see anything. He said, I feel the pain. I took my overall out. All my back was burned, very deep. But I didn't notice anything. I didn't feel anything. At the moment I gave the responsibility of my life to the doctor's hand, I started to feel the pain. Of course, he took care of me, and he said, but unfortunately, I don't have a place in the ambulance to take you with us. Take yourself to the Mitle, which was about 20 kilometers away, and save yourself. And I was walking in the desert, going like that. I couldn't walk. Thirsty, hungry. I didn't eat for 6 days. I didn't drink almost nothing. The adrenaline is out. I didn't sleep. So I was tired, exhausted. I was hardly walking the desert. I felt very humiliated man, alone in the desert. But a few minutes later, a truck, ammunition truck, were crossing the road. He stopped. He took me to the hospital. I was there for a few days, and I thought this is the end of my war, but not. Because 3 days later, I was asked if I can join the forces to fight. I said, well, there are so many drivers around and I'm injured. Yes, but you're the one that can run, the best one to run away from missiles, and we want you to join the battle. Actually, I was there for 24 hours. The very next day, when the end of the day, the commander came to me and said, you see this truck? Go on top, and don't you dare to go out. I said, I'm hungry. He said, I don't care. You sit in the truck, don't go out. The truck took me to the Mitle. I came there. The officer waited for me. He said, you see the bus? You go on top. You don't go out anywhere. I was kicked out from the battle. After the war, I realized the story was the French were afraid to fight with me. And a very good friend of mine up today, he told me, Avi, you know I love you. But statistically, it's your turn to be dead. I love you very much, but it's impossible at every time you're running away and the team is killed, injured, whatever. Anyway, I ended up the war. I was sent to be instructor in Israel. And a month after that, I was involved in a car accident. I was a passenger, a hitchhiker. The driver was killed. 2 other soldiers were badly injured. And I'm the only one that jumped out of the window running away, because when I was asleep, as all of us, when he hit the bridge, the side barrier, I waked away. And then I started to do as an exercise of rolling tanks. So you're pushing yourself back, holding yourself in the front, so all the crash or whatever happened, I wasn't hit. And I was running for about 200 meters, and then I saw cars, and then I realized it's not a war, I'm just running away. It's a car accident. So I started to move back. I realized I was injured in the leg. The fire, it's not a tank, it's a petrol container that burned. And I was back, I was in the hospital, running away from there. And this is almost the end of the war. Just before we end up the story, I have to tell you a story that happened while I was in the hospital. While I was there, I didn't want it to be evacuated to Israel. I was staying in the battle, in the hospital. And then helicopter from the battle landed. It means there are injured people, badly injured, and they can't make it on time to arrive to Israel itself. They took down the helicopter, they evacuated all the injured people, the helicopter left, and the doctors started to check the injured people. I saw some friends, and they took care of the first Egyptian soldier. This was the reason why they were landing. He was about to die. He had a gangrena and he was about to die, so they decided they took care of him first. and then they put all the injured people into the bunker. So this Egyptian guy had a room for himself, and one of the Israeli intelligence came to investigate him. And I was listening. The end of the story was the 9th day, the 8 days of the war. He was injured the first day where I left my teammate in the open field. Because when this friend was collected later on, he was destroyed by the Egyptians. Mutilated. And it was shock to me to take him out of the tank and to see him. But I said, okay, I'm gonna take a revenge. He killed my friend. He was shooting at him while he was badly injured. And when the officer left, I went to the other room, I took my machine gun, and I came back to the room, put the cartridge in, bullets in, aim it to the prisoner's head, and I said, I'm gonna blow it up. Luckily, the doctors, the officers of the hospital, he heard what's going on. He knew me, he knew my stories. He came to me and he put his hand over my shoulder and said, Avi, don't do it. I know what are you going to do. And I was yelling, he was killing this and that, he was killing Andrash, and he said, I know what you're talking, I know what you want to do. Don't do it. Why? It's gonna be over your conscience. Besides, it's a murder, you will be in trial. I promise you, I'm not gonna tell anything to anybody. But by the end, it will be published. So you will be in prison. I said, I don't care prison, I don't care anything, I'm gonna kill him. He said, don't do it. You're an intelligent boy, you had matriculation exam, that time it was something special, and this Egyptian is ignorant completely, he doesn't know even how to write and read, and what he's doing here, so my suggestion to you, don't do it. And he left the room. And I was sitting like that, the finger on the trigger, and I was trying not to shoot at him, but by the end, after 2-3 minutes, I left the prisoner, and I went out, I took the cartridge out, screaming and yelling. The doctor came to me and he said, listen, if you didn't kill him with your emotion that you had, and I know it, he knew me very well, and you didn't kill him, I know you are a hero. I know that we will win the war, not because, just because the moral and the honesty of being a right soldier, we will win the war and you are a hero. Actually, by the end of the war, I was decorated. I got the Medal of Courage of saving people's life, tanks, acting a lot. This was my personal end of the war. Just to summarize this war, as a soldier that participated in the war from the first minute, that we were defeated definitely the first days. It's true that I didn't finish the war, but my friends ended up on the other side in the kilometer 101, a negotiation by the end, peace, ceasefire and peace. I know this was the biggest victory of Israel ever, because from the point of view of starting the war, that we were completely defeated, the Third Army was completely surrounded, they couldn't move, couldn't do anything. The Second Army, the Egyptian one, were almost completely surrounded. the Egyptian couldn't get any supply. It was everything in the Israeli hands on the other side of the canal. So without shooting even one bullet, they will be killed by thirst. I mean, no water, no food. And the Americans and the Russians were involved in the war, and Israel were forced to give them food and water. And by then, they went back to Egypt and left all the military equipment in the Israeli side. Actually, more or less, this is the end of my war. And then I was a drill instructor in Israel, and I finished my 3 years military service. But no doubt, this, let's say, 2 weeks of the war changed my life.
Avi, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. And on behalf of TourMeApp, we want to thank you and let our viewers know that we're planning a few more very interesting stories such as Avi's. So stay tuned, and you're welcome to sign up to all of our social media or directly to the app at www.tourmeapp.net. Bye.
Bye.